Hey guys, Dave here. Well, it's Wednesday midweek and kind of spring is in the air. So I'm thinking of a spring recipe because I'm thinking spring campfire beans. So, what about a homesteader baked bean recipe? And that's going to be so good. So, we're going to put everything together and give it a try. So, let's get started. Okay, first off the bat, we got our ingredients, and I got some old cheddar cheese, some ground beef, some kidney beans, garlic, onion, bit of brown sugar, smoked paprika, tomato sauce, beans, a bell pepper, my smoked seasoning, some barbecue sauce, mustard, some biscuits, ketchup, pepper, salt, and some Worcestershire sauce. First off the old bat, let's fire up the old cast iron pan and heat it to medium-high heat. Then I'm going to throw in a pound of medium ground beef. And we're just going to kind of break this up. And I'm still using this grass-fed beef. I kind of like this stuff, but I don't know, maybe it's just me, I'm nuts. And we'll just stir and fry this until it's cooked and browned through. Once again, guys, we're on the ground beef binge here, but that's okay. I mean, I got this all on sale. I kind of got about 10 packs of it for $4, 4.44 each. So that's a pretty good deal for ground beef nowadays. And once again, guys, here I go on this grass-fed stuff. But usually when I buy the tubes at Walmart, by now when I'm in the frying process, I've got tons of water and grease and everything in the pan, and there's virtually not much here. So I think I'm onto something here. Well, that beef is frying up. I'm going to grab up the old bell pepper, and we're going to kind of slice this up. And you could add these in julienne, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to chop them so they're a bit finer. Just something like that. That's pretty good. Okay, now we're basically fried up here. And see what I mean about that grease? There's virtually nothing. Now, if you have a lot, you can drain it. So I'm just going to shove everything to one side here and go in with half a chopped onion, 3 cloves of garlic, chopped garlic. And we'll just stir and saute this for a couple of minutes. Some people accuse me of using too much onion, but I don't think you never get enough onion. I mean, they're 89% water. How can you get too much onion? I love the taste of them. But anyway, it's up to you. Then, of course, in with those chopped bell peppers. I'm using red here, but you can use green or leave them out, whatever you like. I just like the sweetness of the red. Give these guys a stir around so they soften up a tiny bit. Of course, give everything they will mix-a-rooney together here. Oh, this is smelling good now. We've only just begun. Next up, we're going to season things up with some salt. I don't know, about a teaspoon, something like that. Some ground black pepper. And you know me, I'm going to lay this on fairly thick. Teaspoon and a half, something like that. About a teaspoon of the old smoked paprika. And like I always say, get the smoked if you can, because it's so much better. Then some of my old southern seasoning, smoky southern seasoning, I should say. I guess about a teaspoon of that, depending on your taste. For that depth of flavor, some Worcestershire sauce or Worcestershire sauce, a couple of teaspoons. As always, a bit of Italian seasoning. And people say justifiably so, Dave, you use way too much Italian seasoning. You use it all the time. Well, I like it. It's got just about everything in it. But, you can vary it, use a bit of thyme, whatever, oregano, or add it separately. But this has just about everything in it. Then a squirt of yellow mustard, just for some tardiness. You could use dry powdered mustard too. About half a teaspoon of that. Couple of teaspoons of good old ketchup. The old Heinz 57 ketchup. And for that smoky flavor, some old hickory barbecue sauce. Now we'll give everything a stir around until that seasoning completely coats that ground beef. Look at that gloss. Isn't this looking good, guys? Mm-hmm. And dadgummit, I forgot my brown sugar. So we're going to add in a tablespoon of brown sugar just for that additional sweetness. And continue stirring here. And this is the seasoning of my choice. So like I said, as always, you can adjust it accordingly or add your own seasoning, whatever you like. But I think this is going to be pretty good. And give this a taste just to make sure it's seasoned according to your liking. Now it is time to go in with a can of beans. And this is beans and maple. You can use pork and beans too, but I didn't want to mix pork with beef. I don't know why. Followed up with a medium can of tomato or tomato sauce and a medium can of red kidney beans. Of course, we'll give this a mix around here. Oh, oh, just look at this, guys. It is like bean heaven. Again, some variations. I used the kidney beans. I used the beans and maple and the tomato sauce. You can use whatever beans you like. I mean, you could use, like I said before, pork and beans, beans and molasses. You could use 2 cans of beans if you want. You could use white beans, whatever you like. But I think the 2 cans is going to suffice here. Okay, we brought this to a bit of a soft boil. So what I'm going to do now is kill the heat. Next up, what I'm going to do is grab a can or a container of this country biscuits, relatively cheap, easy to find, and we'll just and get the pop off that. Actually, that scared me. And look at this, guys. We got the biscuits right here. Isn't that slick and handy? And I think you got the drill. We're going to take those biscuits and put them over top of the beans very strategically, or not so strategically. Remember, these are going to swell out because these are going into the oven. Alrighty, we got all our biscuits all on there. Now, I think it's fitting to take some old, sharp cheddar cheese and just grate it over the top. Now, this is entirely up to you, but, I think cheese is going to be so good. And if you know me at all, you know I love cheese. Like I said before, I'm like a big mouse. And we'll slip this into a 375-degree preheated oven for about, 15 minutes or so until those buns are cooked and everything is heated beautifully. So while the beans are baking up, I like the sound of that, beans baking up. I'm kind of excited here because tomorrow I'm going to get another boat. I sold my last one, so this one's a bigger one. It's a bow rider with an inboard, but I guess that got me thinking about camping. I want to stop along the way in some of these lakes and camp and light a fire and pitch a tent, and then beans would be the perfect thing to cook up. So this dish you could do on a campfire. Of course, you couldn't put the biscuits on top, but you could certainly do it with a cast iron over the campfire, and I think it would be so good.
And if I do something like that, I'll film it and share it with you.
After about 14 minutes, guys, these are looking so good. Just look at them. Buns beautifully done, beans bubbling and steaming. Oh, this is going to be so good. Now, of course, I'm going to garnish things up with some parsley or cilantro, whatever you got on hand, just for greenage. And there you have it, guys. Kind of a homesteader baked beans and buns casserole. Something easy put together, everybody is going to love, and this, believe me, is going to be so good. All right, let's dig in here. Grab up some of that bun and some of those beans on there. Oh, maybe a few more beans. Just look at this. Nothing better than biscuits and beans. This is simply divine, my friends. Those biscuits and those beans. The biscuits are really good, but I mean the beans, they got that sweetness with the ground beef, and they got that smokiness from the barbecue sauce and stuff. Absolutely delicious. You are going to love this. Well worth doing. And if you do it, leave us a comment because I love to read them. Most of all, give us a like because it helps us out, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay safe. And of course, I just got to have more of this because it's so good.